Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, and good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk to me, funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! Well, it is a box office sensation. It is the movie that everybody on social media, every street corner, and the water coolers, if they still have those, are talking about. It is, of course, F1, the movie, which had a huge box office opening weekend and is going to continue into this July 4th weekend. And the producer, the man behind so many titles that you know, that love, that I love, is joining us right now, Mr. Jerry Bruckheimer. Good morning to you, sir. Congratulations on the success of this film so far.
Thanks so much, Brad. It's a pleasure to be here and all our fans in Houston.
Well, you know, look, F1 the movie, this film is everything a movie really should be. And it's funny because today, 40 years ago, Back to the Future was released on this very day. When I think about Back to the Future, it's funny, it's thrilling, it's full of heart, there's great dialogue, there's action, there's heart, there's an emotional connection. And that's exactly what F1 gives to the audiences this time around. When you go and see this film, you have to be so proud of the response to this movie.
No, it's amazing. It's immersive. It's funny. It's romantic. It's everything I go to the cinema for. It's you want to see it on the big screen. Look at Brad and Damson trained for 4 months so they can get in these cars and drive them. So what you're seeing is there's no blue screen or digital effects. That's them actually in the car going 180 miles an hour. Plus, we put two enhanced iPhone cameras in 2 cars in 9 of the races. So you're seeing some of the real drivers going at 220 miles an hour in some of the point of views. But everything that when Brad and Damson are on the camera, they're actually driving those cars.
It's insane to me when I hear that, Brad Pitt, his first time, in the car, when the cameras were rolling, was in front of whatever it was, 100,000 or 160,000 people and millions of people around the world, getting to now see this film. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, but there was a moment where y'all were shooting where I believe you had to shoot a dialogue scene. And I don't know if it was 8th page of dialogue or how long the scene was, where you only had 6 minutes to shoot the scene. And 6 minutes in movie time to shoot a scene is like 10 seconds. How were y'all able to pull this off?
Well, we rehearsed it for 3 days to make sure we got it right. There was no helter-skelter. We got out there in front, and it was in Silverstone, and 140,000 people, 100 million people around the world watching. So we had to get it right. We had to do it quickly because the cars were ready to take off. So we had to get out of there because we're right in their pit lane.
Right, and you only have a shot to get this done, and just to be able to pull that off with that, it's almost a tightrope act, a high wire act. And I know When you have a star like Brad Pitt, and of course you did Top Gun Maverick with Tom Cruise, these guys are very intimately involved in the production of these films and the scripts and thinking over every aspect of it. As a producer, that seems like it would be a joy to have as your star being so intimately involved.
Absolutely. Both Tom and Brad really care about what they do. They rehearse everything. They work on the script with us. They work on everything. They make sure that the movies are authentic to what we're doing. Look, if you like Top Gun Maverick, it's the same team, same director, same writer. And Brad is somebody I never worked with before, but I'd love to work with him again. He's a terrific actor and a great individual. And look, he trains so hard. Don't forget, when you go in those corners, they're taking 5 Gs in their neck. So when they got out of the car, they had to go to the gym and train just to be in shape to get in the car the next morning.
It is a huge undertaking for the star of this movie to do it, and Brad Pitt is still the guy. He's definitely still the guy, and he's shown this. And to me, what this movie says, more than anything, because there's been such a conversation about box office and are people going to the cinema and things of that nature, but it seems whenever there's a Jerry Bruckheimer production, the kind of movies that audiences want to go out and see, whether it be a Top Gun Maverick, obviously this film, going back to the Pirates films, the National Treasure movies, Beverly Hills Cop, the one with Axel F that came out last year was phenomenal. People flocked to it on Netflix. Do you just have the finger on the pulse, or is it the age-old adage of you make the movie that you would want to see, and for some reason your desires and your wants from a film seem to translate to a mass audience?
That's what it is. I don't know what you like. I don't know what an audience likes, but I know what I like, and that's what I try to make. And F1, which I knew absolutely nothing about coming into this. Fortunately, we have Lewis Hamilton, who was a producer with us. We got him early on, before we even got Brad Pitt. So he made sure everything was real. But you get immersed in this world. But we had 15 camera angles on the car. We had a remote camera, which has never been done before, going at these speeds, panning from Brad to the car next to him. So we did all the bells and whistles, but it's always about the emotion and the story. You don't have to know anything about racing or F1 to see this movie. It's a family movie. It's fun. It's got a phenomenal soundtrack with Hans Zimmer, who's maybe the greatest living composer. And then you have the songs are Tate McRae and Rosie from Blackpink and Chris Stapleton and Ed Sheeran and Doja Cat and Tiesto. I mean, this is one of the fun movies of the summer. I promise you, you'll feel better when you walk out than when you walked in. That's the kind of experience it is.
Oh, and I also guarantee you when people walk out, because I know what happened to me when I walked out of this movie, I felt like I was an F1 driver. I wanted to see what that Ford F-150 of mine could do on these Houston, Texas streets. But you know what? I kept it at the speed limit. But I felt the energy of that film. I really did. And that is something that is so powerful about cinema. And it's so important to see films still in theaters. There's been such a conversation about that. And of course, there's streamers and people can see them at their leisure. But this is a movie that if you can see it on the biggest screen possible with the best sound system, you should see it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, but one of the consultants on the film, they were so in tune with the cars, they knew if this car was going to be in second gear or third gear and when it should be in that gear just from the sound of the engine.
That was Lewis Hamilton, who's a 7-time world champion and still racing. He races for Ferrari right now. Look at F1, there are 10 teams. 2 drivers to each team, but it's the only sport where your teammate is your competitor. So that creates great drama. And these drivers, if you put 20 of them in the same car, they come within 1 second of each other. That's how gifted and talented they are. But you know what? It's, again, we get the bells and whistles, 15 camera angles on the car, and a smaller camera than we had in Top Gun, a remote camera. Again, it's always about the story and the characters and the journey we take you on. And that's why this movie is so good, because it's for everybody. It's not just, you don't have to be a racing fan. You don't have to care anything. In fact, women like it just as much as men. Yeah.
F1 just serves as a backdrop to such a compelling story that I feel like, we've seen movies similar to it before. I've heard you refer to this film as Rocky on steroids, and I completely agree with that. That is such an apt description of the story that we get to see with the characters, and it's always about the character. Again, F1 in theaters right now. It's going to be a big July 4th weekend. Go out and make sure you see it. Mr. Bruckheimer, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you. I know that there's another Pirates film in development. There's been talk of Johnny and maybe Margot Robbie being in that one. National Treasure, there's one in development. John Voight told me that on this very show, and I know it's something y'all been kicking the tires about. Are we going to see, though, my question for you, is there another Beverly Hills Cop in development? Because I thought Axel F was so great, and I would love to see another adventure of Axel Foley.
So would I, but it's not in development at this point. But it always comes around. It's a good one. But, we're doing another Top Gun. We're working on that. A screenplay is being written. So, I mean, again, this F1 is by the same team that did Top Gun Maverick. So if you like that and you got a great experience there, you're going to love this movie.
Yeah, F1, Top Gun, same team, same director, Brad Pitt starring in this one, Jerry Bruckheimer production. You can't get better than that. Congratulations again on the box office success, on the critical success. I'm a member of the Critics' Choice Association, so it's gotten a high recommendation from me, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning.
Well, thank you, Brad. It's terrific to talk to you in Houston.